Mars stations direct January 13th, 2023 at 8 degrees of Gemini. Finally, we're going to be able to move forward after this extended retrograde that started the end of October. Now, it began at 24 degrees of Gemini in your chart, where Mars then traveled back to 8 degrees. So in January, this Mars is still moving very slowly. In fact, he's at a standstill, and he doesn't really start to pick up the pace and the speed again until February. So yes, Mars stations direct, but it's a bit like coming back to yourself, gathering in all of that energy of Mars and being more intentional with it as Mars now moves ahead and continues through Gemini, where it stays into March. So as this Mars stations direct, it's a beautiful time to check in with yourself and the Gemini areas of your chart. Also, looking at how that Gemini energy has been operating within you and how this has given you some time and space to go into things you need to reconsider how you take action on. Mars is about how we assert ourselves, how we go for our desires, how we move through life and move through the world. So with Mars stationing direct, you could have some new understandings here about what is worth your time, what is something that you truly want to get done or move towards or move into. Mars in Gemini is typically a sprinter. Gemini moves fast, Mars likes speed. Gemini is also about duality, two choices, two options, doing things, one in each hand, multitasking. And there's been a slowdown of that. A slowdown so that this Mars in Gemini can really gain clarity and be more decisive in his decision making around what matters, what he wants, and what is really important right now. Mars in Gemini also supports collecting ideas, information, details, specifics. What's the data here? And this is where you can then make some clear choices around, this is the new story, this is the new narrative that fits for me. And that's because sometimes that Gemini energy, it'll create a story and it'll create something that then attaches to a belief system that we're then like, yeah, I had a thought, I had a story, and now this is what I am thinking and believing. But you can rewind that, reprogram it, and be more conscious of it. So this is a time period to look at what have you needed to reassess, rewrite, and essentially recreate a new story around in the Gemini areas of your chart that maybe you didn't see the first time. And now we have an opportunity to be more thoughtful, to be more mindful, and then to take action from that space, from that energy. So Mars stations direct, but is still not really gaining speed yet. But this is where you can check in with yourself, be more conscious, be more intentional, and certainly be more aware of what you're ready to rewrite, recreate, re-narrate, and how it's probably now in higher alignment with who you are, what you want, and what you're moving towards next.